What's good, everybody? Rhetorical Question Life. My name is Heavy Bree and welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing things that I wish I had known before I became a truck driver. Now, prior to getting into trucking, I would talk to other truck drivers that I would see around my job. Sometimes I would get deliveries, and and every now and then I would talk to different drivers, company drivers, owner operators, lease operator drivers, and I would talk to different truck drivers about the trucking business and what to do, what to expect. And for the most part, I had a pretty good bit of knowledge before getting in, but there were some things that I found out like after I got into trucking that I wish I had known that would have probably helped me a lot before getting in. So today in this video, I'll be sharing some of the stuff with you, and if you plan on becoming a truck driver, or you know someone who wants to become a truck driver, maybe this information will help you out and help somebody else before they end up getting into like some of the predicaments that I got into when I first got in. So let's get into it. The first thing I wish I had known before I got into driving trucks, becoming a truck driver, was how to drive a manual. I started driving cars, like just regular driving, when I was 25 years old. I got my driver's license when I was 25 years old. I knew how to drive cars. I just, never could find anybody who let me borrow their car to go to a DMV to, get my license and everything, and finally one day I had a co-worker of mine, shout out to Corey, who helped me, let me use his car to go take the driver's test. And and I passed it, really well. The first time I had to do a 3-point turn, and I didn't execute the 3-point turn correctly, so they said I had to come back another day or the following day and redo the test. And then I went back and did it again, and I passed. But yeah, like knowing how to drive a manual is very important if you're going to become a truck driver, because some trucks have manual transmissions. They have up to 8 regular, how regular cars have like 5 or 6 gears. Well, most trucks have 13, and some of them even have 18 gears in their trucks, and if I had known how to drive manuals, that would have helped me out with my career substantially. But which brings me to my next point, restrictions on CDLs. So if you go to a company or if you go to a school and all they have is automatic transmissions for their semi trucks, and you take your behind the wheel test in an automatic transmission semi truck, you are going to get a restriction on your CDL, which means you're only going to be allowed to drive and work for companies that have automatic transmissions on their trucks. And this isn't entirely bad, because there's a lot of companies, some of them pay good. Walmart pays pretty good, and a lot of these companies, the big companies, are switching all their trucks over to automatics. The bigger companies, and some other companies like Walmart, FedEx, UPS, Swift, all these places, most of their trucks are all automatic. But however, if you want to leave your first company and go work somewhere, and the company pays good money but they only have manuals, and they pay pretty good, then it will probably hinder you in getting into one of those companies, if they don't offer training to help you remove your restriction off your license. Because you can remove your restriction off your license if you go back to school and you get about 40 hours of training. In 1 week you gotta take 40 hours of training and get behind the wheels test in a manual truck, and then you go back and you go to the DMV, and then you can get your restriction removed. But you have to have you have to go back to school for it. And some of these places, some of these schools that will offer you training, they don't charge a lot of money, but some of them don't charge a lot. You can get it with about as much as $3,000, but way less than that. There's some places that are $800, and they'll help you get your restriction removed off your license. But which brings me to my next point, researching companies and schools. I wish I had known that the company that I was working for didn't have manual transmissions, or didn't train in manual transmissions. Before getting out of the military, I was able to get this thing called a GI Bill, which is what service members can use to pay for schooling for trade schools and college. Most people use it for college, but you can also use it for trade schools. And there were some companies that allowed me. There were some companies that did let you use your GI Bill, but every time I would call those places, they would either say that they didn't offer it anymore, or that they didn't have it, or something. And I'm like, well, then why would you put it on your website saying that we offer training for GI Bill if you don't offer money for GI Bill? I don't know what the whole situation was. All I know is that I wish I had done more research on schools and found one that was willing to train me with the GI Bill. And I wish I had learned research the other companies before settling on the company that I joined. I'm still grateful to CRST for helping me get my license, but I'm pretty sure I probably would have had a better time if I had just found another school or another company that would have let me train me, at least allowed me to get my restriction removed while working with them, because they had manual transmissions at their company, and every time I would go get a loaner, they would always only have manuals available, and I had to wait hours just to get an automatic out of the shop or something. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So the next thing I wish I had known before becoming a truck driver was about scales. I knew that trucks have to go through scales to get weighed and everything, but I didn't know about the different weights on each axle. So on your drive axles, you can't exceed 12,000 pounds, and on your other axles, your tandem axles and your trailer axles, you can't exceed, I believe it's 35,000 pounds. I will do another video or even a short that will correct me. Right now I can't look it up right now because the information's on my phone and my notes. So I'll leave a correction in the comments and showing you guys the actual exact weights for going through the scale. Because if you exceed those three weights when going through a scale, that's a ticket. Okay, it won't put points on your license, but it will be expensive. Like some of them, well, at the most, like one time I was going through Oregon, I was going through Longview, Washington, and the scale, I guess, I had too much weight on the rear axle, and I ended up having to pay like $200 just to pay for the ticket fine. It didn't go on my record, and it didn't go on to, and I didn't get points on my license, but because it wasn't a moving violation. So but still, man, save money, know about scales. So I'll post the scales and the scale limits, or I'll just make a quick video about the scale limits, about going through scales and what to do and what not to do when going through scales. The fourth thing I wish I had known about trucking before I got into trucking was how to cook on the road. I know how to cook, and I'm a pretty decent cook from what I've been told. People when we're at the house, there's groceries. Sometimes sometimes the homies will be like, hey, can you make some of that salmon, or make some of that shrimp? Like, okay, cool. I'm good at sauteing and everything. I'm not gourmet. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. I'm not like Jeremy Allen White. So don't ask me to make any ratatouille or complex dishes. I only know how to fry and saute. That's as good as I can get. Maybe a little bit of baking. I can make a mean batch of cookies from scratch. So, but now I wish I known how to cook on the road. Get me an air fryer. I know how to make salmon in an air fryer. And in fact, next time I'm out here on the road, and I'm gonna bring me an air fryer, and I'm gonna start just cooking on the road, and I'll show you guys how to little things you can make when you're out here on the road and everything. Just show you what to do. I won't show you the actual cooking. I'll just show you the setup and what to do, and but that's gonna be for later on, when I come back on the road. The next thing I wish I had known before getting into trucking was packing wisely. Sometimes, I only bring enough stuff to survive out here on the road for weeks on end, And sometimes I would, first time I was out on the road, over the road, I packed very lightly. I had to go to Walmart and buy stuff that I didn't know I needed and everything. But I pack enough stuff. I pack enough hygiene products, packing enough socks, and packing enough like underwear, packing enough stuff, you know, and not enough shirts. Because sometimes I don't know what it is. I really think, because sometimes when I'm washing clothes, I think it's because like I drop the stuff and it falls onto the floor and I forget about it. And I might not be. I'm in a rush to get out of there. You know, I go and do laundry, and I just sometimes I'll just drop stuff, and I'll forget that I dropped stuff and everything, and then like I go back in there and it's gone. Or like my other suspicion is that I got hit by the underpants gnomes, and you know that they're always out here trying to take people's underwear, man. Like the socks, the underwear, man. The underpants gnomes are out here, and they will take your socks. They will take your drawers. Either that, or there's a pervert in the truck stop. I don't know. That's also like too, but I like my theory of the underpants gnomes. Sixth thing I wish I had known about was cell phone holders, like this one right here that I'm using. Yeah, this thing has really been a godsend. It's helped me with like GPS and finding stuff and not having to worry about like, cause like normally I'm pretty good about finding locations. Like I'll look at a map or something, a map or a good detail of where I use the Hammer app to find a good detail and a good route to my destination, and I use Google Earth or Google Maps to to get a good overview, a clearer picture of where I'm going to be pulling into and where I have to like drive to and the location that I'm driving to. But recently I got a GPS on my phone. I use a trucker path, and I pay for that. And when I'm lost somewhere, having my phone in this stand right here that's sitting on right now makes the whole process a lot easier, you know. And for those of you out there who aren't really who don't have a good memory of directions when it comes to driving and stuff like that, and you need a GPS, get a cell phone. If you're getting into trucking or if you're just driving in general, just get a holder for your phone, so that way you're not just like grabbing your phone and looking at it and staring at it into it like longingly while you look for the next place to go to. The next thing I wish I had known about before getting into truck driving was finding a mentor. I spoke to truck drivers in my spare time at truck stops and at my job when they would come on the base and we would check their trucks. I would talk to the truck drivers, and a lot of them gave me good information that has served me well since being out here. But but it would have been a lot better if I had gotten a mentor or somebody who I could just talk to, who is been in the business way longer than 3, 4, 5, 6 years, who's successful and has their own trucks. You know, it's always good to have a plug or a mentor who can guide you in the right direction and get you on their level, so that way eventually, like 10 years down the road, you can be as successful as them. You know, it's always good to have a successful mentor and somebody who could help you like on the path, because like no matter how smart we are, no matter how much we learn, how much we know, you can never know too much. You can never have too much. There's nothing wrong with too much information, you know. TMI is good. Sometimes TMI is too much, but sometimes like more is less or whatever. But the last thing I wish I had known before getting into trucking, becoming a truck driver, is how to be more effective with my investing as far as money, like better ways to invest my money. Now I'm pretty good with my money. I've been out of debt since 2017, and I've also been really good about paying my bills and saving money and investing my money. I wish I had known better ways to invest, like investing in ETFs, knowing about index funds, how to effectively invest into an S&P. I will do a video about that later, but for right now, I'm just going to let you guys know about the things that I wish I had known. I hope you guys were writing all this stuff down. If you didn't, pause the video right now, go back to the beginning. Get out a piece of paper, write down these things that I was talking about, because if you're trying to become a truck driver, or if you know somebody who wants to become a truck driver, you can share this information with them, so that way they are better prepared for when they get into this business, you know. The reason why I didn't talk about winter driving or like how to put on tire chains and how to do other stuff that most people don't know about is because I didn't need to know those things, because I already knew those things before I got in. I already knew about those things. I already knew about, like, I never put tire chains on before getting in, but I knew about it before I got into. I knew about it from watching videos from other truck drivers, from talking to other truckers who know how to like drive. I knew these things, and because I knew this stuff, I was able to, like, not have those problems once I ran across them. I will add one bonus thing. One thing I wish I had known is safety, and how some companies can be super strict and super anal about safety. Even the littlest things, like not speeding, but like just like braking too hard, or like not like or just basically just like not speeding, but just like driving too, like, there's some places where if you're driving in the yard and you're going too fast in the yard, even if you're going like 17 miles an hour, or you go even a little bit over 15 miles an hour, there are some places where they will notify your dispatchers, they will notify your places, and they will like rat you out. It happens. But like, it's not about just being safe. Like, I'm not saying like just crashing or speeding, but just like being safe and being aware of your surroundings. And but that's pretty much it. That's all I got for this video today. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate every single last one of you. Thank you to the recent subscribers who subscribed to the channel. Right now we're at 40. One of my videos, the video talking about parking and stuff like that one has over like 1,000 views so far. So thank you all for watching. I want to thank every single last one of you. Thank all my subscribers and supporters. But yeah, when you guys watch the video, please like. Don't just watch the video and then not leave a like, unless you hated it or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any hates or dislikes on my videos so far. I haven't seen an excessive amount of dislikes, but I also haven't seen an excessive amount of likes. So if you guys watch the video and you like the content, please like, and also subscribe if you if you enjoy watch. That way you can get like notifications whenever I put out new stuff. Thank you all for watching today. Peace and blessings. Have a prosperous day.